Hey, everybody, welcome to Bearded Baker Banter. It's the sports podcast. Yes, and we have a special episode. This is our draft special for the 2024 draft. Yes, we're all rocking our teams.
That's right.
Yes, I'm rocking the frames because it's crazy time. So, everybody, it's one of the most beautiful times of the year where we get to see some new players that come in from the college game into the pro game. It's become quite a spectacle over the last couple of years, I'd say in particular. So real quick, first off, welcome Trent, welcome Trey.
Thank you very much.
Happy to be here on this I guess we'd call this NFL holiday episode, kind of, huh? Like,
oh my gosh, it's like, I'll tell you what, this is the most I've ever paid attention to the draft, and it's awesome. I'm so excited for it's Thursday, right? Thursday is the first round.
Yes, Thursday's first round. So tomorrow, since our episode is out this Wednesday morning. So real quick, just to kind of get us off with some stuff, I'm going to talk about a little bit of history here. So I got a quote actually from NFL.com. It says the first NFL draft was a far cry from a spectacle fans have come to expect today, which it was held on February 8, 1936 in Philadelphia's Ritz-Carlton Hotel. Clubs, meaning teams here, only selected from a pool of 90 players. There was no formal scouting departments, no agents, and no 24-hour sports media coverage. The list of eligible players was compiled from newspaper reports, visits to local colleges by team executives, and recommendations to front office personnel. So just a little, trivia there, or not trivia, but a little history on the draft here. But the live draft on TV actually started in 1980. It moved to the 3-day format back in 2010. And actually then the new hosting location started in 2015 because it was in New York City, I believe since 1965 until 2015 when it started to kind of move around. So just some little backdrop on the history of the draft here, which I, like I said, I was doing some research on some things. I thought it was kind of neat, and here we are.
It's the draft that's done the best way too. I like to put that out.
It's exciting, man. It's become a primetime event.
Yeah. Like a weekend moving in too.
Well, and especially now the fact that they're starting Thursday night, kind of leading into the weekend. Obviously a majority of the picks coming on, the final day on Saturday.
Right.
But definitely, I also think it highlights too. What is it? Rounds 2 and 3 are now held on Friday.
Yep, just as important.
So I was gonna say, kind of like pinpointing those 2 rounds as being very important too, not just your first round. So I really think that the 3-day format's pretty cool. But
any way the NFL can own all the attention on a day of the week, they're gonna drag this thing out as much as they can. So I don't blame them. I mean, heck, you guys know it's for some, it's a dry time. It's baseball and more baseball. Well, sorry, hockey playoffs too.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
sorry, can't forget that NBA. I know, but as you can tell, I'm just paying attention to baseball. But and the draft, obviously. So, well, I don't know.
So
Tyler, is that the "You're on the Clock" music that I'm hearing? Tyler, what's that sound like?
Yeah, I know. Dude, if there wasn't some,
I knew I could get Trey to do it.
Yeah. Honestly, I just butchered it though. So
yeah, you did butcher it. No, one more time, Trey. Nice so we can. Oh my God, what is that? Are we playing Road Rash and Sega?
Okay, what do you guys have to say then? Let's hear your.
Definitely not.
That was baseball. Darn.
Tyler, let's hear yours.
Come on, Ty. Look, he's thinking. You can see him thinking.
No, I am thinking. Hold on, because I just had it, and then you tried to mess me up with a baseball tone. Like I literally had it. Like, that's a good
Go ahead. Oh, do that again.
Go ahead, Ty.
Because then it rolls up.
That was pretty weak.
I think
it was better than your Beverly Hillbillies one, Trey.
That was the closest. You were the closest.
I think it was Deliverance, if anything.
No, I thought Trey did Road Rash after you get arrested.
By Officer.
Yeah.
All right. We like I said, this obviously we'll have our mock draft here. We're going to talk picks. We'll also discuss some picks, some analysis and stuff, kind of see where we're at with some things. Not totally in depth for every single pick, but we've included some reads throughout, where we predict things might happen, where some guys might fall. But we're also going to bring some polls into this. We got some fun trivia stuff just to kind of keep things, lighthearted, a little bit fun for everybody to listen to. So, start with a poll.
Let's do it.
All right. So, real quick. So, what we're going to do here is just to kind of rehash. And we don't have to spend a ton of time on this because I did bring this poll up last week. But I put the number of quarterbacks at 4.5. There obviously was some news, some movement and stuff, specifically with the Denver Broncos this week. That being Zach Wilson going to the Denver Broncos now. Brent, you and I were both at 4.5. Trey, you were close, and then I think you eventually also went over 4.5 as well. Has that number changed for any of you for number of quarterbacks taken in the first round, over under 4.5?
Well, Tyler, it has. Looking at my mock draft that I have here, I have under 4.5, exactly 4.
Wow.
We'll obviously get to it here and there, but yeah, my opinion did change when I evaluated everything. So,
okay, change.
I'm on the over.
Still in the over.
I think we're gonna. I don't know. I'm expecting some fireworks. I mean, not that I necessarily have that in my mock draft. But I feel like late in the first round, I think there's going to be some fireworks that teams that still like a guy are going to, at quarterback, are going to trade up into and make that move on day one. So I don't think they want to mess around. Because there's a lot of teams that need quarterbacks, guys. Even teams that have paid their quarterbacks, but they're not quite their guys right now, or they're not proven to be their guys. So that's my over 4.5.
Going over.
Yeah, I wish we could bet on that, darn it.
I know. I'm still in the over as well. That really hasn't changed for me. We'll do one other poll here, and then I got a quick trivia, and then we're going to jump right into this mock draft stuff for the first couple rounds. College that will have the most players selected in the first round. Now, keep in mind, I'm giving you two choices here. All right. Now, obviously, you can state other. All right. But out of these two choices, is Georgia or Alabama going to have more players selected in the first round of this draft? Trent, we'll start with you for this one.
Alabama.
Okay.
There's a team that will have more than Georgia, but besides Bama.
Trey?
Between the two, Alabama for sure. Georgia will be lucky to have two. A third would be potential. I could see a third, their safety getting picked maybe, but like Trent said, I think there's a team that gets more than Georgia even too.
You guys both thinking LSU
or Washington?
Yeah, both of those.
Yeah,
okay. Interesting. I'm going to say Georgia, and I actually have Georgia kind of standing out amongst the rest with this. Okay. So obviously you'll see it. Yeah, that actually surprised me too. But as I kind of just quickly, went through it, because at first I'm like, oh, definitely Alabama, and then I'm like, oh, nope, definitely Georgia.
Nice each there.
Yeah. All right. Real quick trivia here before we get into it. You ready for this, guys? Who had the first pick? Sorry, which team had the very first pick of the NFL draft in 1936?
Trent, go ahead.
I'll give you a quick hint. The team still exists today, so it's not like they changed the name or anything else.
Okay. Kansas City Chiefs.
Did the city change, or is it just the team that didn't change, Tyler?
Same everything.
Kansas City Chiefs.
Okay, Kansas City Chiefs. Trey?
I'm going to go Chicago Bears.
Chicago Bears. Both good guesses. The Philadelphia Eagles.
Wow.
The very first pick. Ready? You ready for this? I'm going to take it a step further. The guy that was drafted, this is wild. His name was John Jacob, not Jingleheimer Smith.
Okay.
His name is my name too. Yeah. He went by Jay Berwanger. He was also the first Heisman Trophy winner. All right.
Wow.
However, when he was drafted, he never played professional football due to a contract dispute because he wanted $1,000 a game. He was later traded to the Bears, couldn't reach a deal with George Halas, and who had offered him a salary of $13,500. And he later went on to say that he did regret never working out a deal with George Halas. So he was drafted first, won the first Heisman, never played a down of professional football. So I don't know. I thought that was kind of cool, but
I'd love to know what the heck he did for a living back in that time to make more money than what he was going to get to play a game, man. Like,
they're always greedy, man.
So
you think you thought it just started lately, but it's been since 1938, man.
Yeah, there was.
Always holding out.
Yeah.
Hey, let's not keep our listeners waiting. Let's get this thing going.
I'm not.
But real quick, all trivia questions come from NBC Sports, Fansided.com, and Sporting News. So shout out to them for some of the cool trivia stuff that we'll be doing. But all right, so let's get into it. How do we want to do this, boys? How do we want to give our order? Do we want to have somebody go first and kind of snake it back and forth?
I think we just keep cycling. So if it goes, we'll go oldest first to start. So Ty, that's you. We'll go Tyler, me, Trey, and then it'll be me, Trey, Tyler, and then Trey, Tyler, me, and we'll just keep rolling it that way, and that'll keep it kind of simple. Moving our way through it, okay?
All right. So with the first pick of the 2024 draft, the Chicago Bears select. It sounded like I called them the Pears, didn't it?
Yeah,
you did call them the Pears.
Yeah, kind of like, yeah. Chicago Bears select Caleb Williams, quarterback from USC.
Woo! Didn't see that coming.
I know, kind of a surprise. A little anticlimactic. Yeah.
Well,
I think we can all agree that this is probably the
Trey. I'm on the clock. Not yet.
Okay. Fair enough.
Thank you. Well, guys, with the first pick overall, the Chicago Bears do select Caleb Williams at a USC quarterback.
Okay, that's 2 for 2.
Nails painted and all.
I thought Trey had the actual intro music to have him come on.
No, yeah, I almost
like
did.
Trey. No, it's copyright.
Yeah.
Jeez, Trey.
Listen, it's muted. My laptop is muted. Guys make it 3 for 3. Like I was gonna say, I think this is the most predictable number one pick in the last couple of years. I know sometimes they try to give you like a dramatic, like, oh, the odds change, blah blah blah. Like JJ McCarthy might get drafted, but no, this is for sure a Caleb Williams, USC going to the Bears.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, I think this was announced far earlier than most guys are normally announced. I feel like usually you learn about like maybe 2 weeks prior. This one came out.
It was announced last year, guys. Like the whole entire thing is who's going to get Caleb Williams with the worst. To me, it was kind of like Trevor Lawrence a couple years back.
When it was confirmed was when the Bears traded Justin Fields. That's the ultimate confirmation. There's speculation all the time. Are the Bears going to trade the number one pick? Are they going to keep Justin Fields? That was a question in people's minds.
No,
when they traded Justin Fields, that was the confirmation. That
was Chicago trying to make it seem like they didn't want to give up Justin Fields, so that way they could get as much as they could. And then they realized, oh crap, can't get a thing for him. Here you go, Pittsburgh. Take him for nothing.
They could have got more. I think they did him a favor. Yes, I think they did him a favor.
I don't agree.
Trey, I'm just glad you came around and realized that Justin Fields is a better quarterback.
No, I'm not saying that.
Okay, so I have to throw that out there again.
All I'm saying is I think they gave Justin Fields a future with where they traded him, and in fact, I think he wanted to go to Pittsburgh. If I'm not mistaken, the Brian Poles, the GM for the Chicago Bears, literally said they could have gotten more for him, but they did him a favor.
Yeah. All right. Well, boys, that team from Washington,
Oh yeah,
the Commanders.
I still have them
pick-
listed as just Washington because I'm not sold that that'll be their name forever.
Their pick is in. Their pick is in, guys. Their pick is in. Although a little controversial at times, especially due to the way that they hosted not just him, but a plethora of quarterbacks and other individuals. With the second overall pick, Jaden Daniels, quarterback, LSU.
Dun, 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 dun.
Trey, just stop it. Just stop. Just go.
There's a trade, folks.
Folks. Right. Hard L.
That's
there.
all.
No,
That's
no.
all, folks. Sorry, Porky Pig.
Folks. He says
Folks.
Norfolk. Now folks.
Oh man,
Right.
don't get me started.
It is Norfolk. Anyway, folks, there is a trade. The Commanders are going to move back to the 13th pick, and they're going to trade their pick to the Las Vegas Raiders, who, in fact, do select Jaden Daniels.
Oh no. Don't want it. They don't want it.
Head coach has a connection. Head coach has a connection.
He also did say Jaden Daniels said he really wants to play for the Raiders.
Yep.
Oh god.
I don't. I mean, that's what are you giving up to get to 2 though? Like I understand you're
too much.
They're picking probably something else too.
Too much.
Probably another future pick next year. Maybe their first round pick next year. Yeah.
That's not worth it.
Maybe their second round this year too. Who knows?
Jamarcus Russell. That's all I think of. Just not as big of an arm, more of a runner. Hate it.
Both from LSU.
Hate it so much.
I have Jaden Daniels going, but it's the Las Vegas Raiders trading up, switching their first round picks with the Commanders.
All right.
So you have an early trade here.
I do.
Trey, I know when we had kind of talked about this, and not to say that I had some insight to you guys' picks, and I promised that I did not use them because I had mine done weeks ago. Obviously had to adjust some things based on some movements and things, but I didn't mind your trade there, Trey, and I was like, well, I could see that happen, especially after the recent comments. According to Peter Schrager, though, on the McAfee show yesterday, he said that things have kind of calmed down a little bit in the Jaden Daniels camp in terms of his hatred for Washington or not wanting to play for Washington. Yep. So he could definitely see Jaden Daniels still becoming a Washington Commander. And I think he was going there no matter what, whether things calmed down or not. I mean, I almost believe that it was maybe a reach stretch, like selling point for himself. Like, hey, this is who I want to go to. And then for Washington to maybe think, oh, who can we get and to do this? And can we get, I think it was a strategy. I think he's going to be a Washington Commander. And honestly, like, I hope he,
right.
What's that?
Peter Schrager's always right too, crazily enough.
Not always right, but
pick the last 4 Super Bowl champs.
Just
last
shut
4 or 5.
Because I knew that's where you're going, so I didn't want to talk about it. But yeah, Washington, Jaden Daniels. I mean, we'll see what happens. He's a very athletic dude. I mean, he's got some young talent around him too, still wide receiver wise. But I don't know. I think Washington needs to somehow maybe 3D print their new stadium overnight, so that way they can get out of that shithole that they're in.
This
is a good place to play, right? They can do it though.
This to me, though, guys, is just he's another guy that's been in college so long that, like, if he was that good, there would have been. I know. Well, players develop, but he's changed from what Arizona State, correct?
Mm-hmm.
He didn't, and then it was just straight LSU.
Yeah, I think so.
Believe so.
So, like, I don't know. I'm just not sold, and maybe I'll, but Tyler, I would say you of all people probably have to be the most not sold on this individual, especially with the comparison to Lamar Jackson that they're giving him. So, I don't know. I really hope the Raiders don't trade up like Trey just projected, but I got them going to the Commanders. I think it's just the typical like draft day drama where agents start talking, pundits start talking. They try to influence, the lines on the sports books, because I think the draft is it's a big way where I think sports books sometimes can take a hit, especially because sometimes it is very predictable. And I think a lot of the stuff fed to the media, especially now that ESPN owns a sports book, they tell me they're not going to manipulate lines or put stuff out there. So,
yeah.
Hey, Trey, let's go third pick overall.
Yeah.
Real quick though. One last thing on the Jaden thing is, I don't know. What does this say about what the heck, Brian Kelly though? With all the talent that could go in the first round here from LSU, and he didn't do squat last year with this talent.
Yeah.
I mean, what's it say about him as a coach there? I mean, I think he's good at dancing in circles with recruits.
Him and his
family. Those videos are pretty funny.
His family.
Hey, however he gets him there, he can't bust on. He gets him there.
And it's funny, he didn't get that guy there. That guy did not sign with them.
Yeah, you're right. But...
So, anyway, go ahead. Let's move on to pick number 3.
Yeah, pick number 3, the New England Patriots. They're going to stay at this position, and I think this might be a little bit of a surprise to everyone, but I think they're going Marvin Harrison Jr. strictly because he's the best available. I know a lot of people are expecting another quarterback from the Patriots, and honestly, they probably need one, but I don't think they're going to just knowing the Patriots, I think they're going to not reach for one just because they need to. I think they'll wait later on and get a value quarterback, maybe trade up late in the first round, but I'm going Patriots taking Marvin Harrison Jr. and with the third spot. What about you, Tyler? What do you got?
So tell me this, though. I mean, interestingly enough, Patriots quarterback right now is Jacoby Brissett.
Not bad.
Not bad. Ooh.
Not bad,
man. Like, and then you got Bailey Zappi and then Nathan Rourke. Like,
Bailey Zappi won them a lot of games.
Yeah, did he?
Okay, can I tell you?
Not Mac
I don't know, probably more than one fucking. Sorry. What's his name?
Justin Fields.
Yeah, probably over the last 2 years, Trent.
Of course, he wouldn't say Mac Jones. I thought he was going to say Mac Jones. I'm like, go ahead.
All I'm saying is the Patriots aren't going to waste Marvin Harrison is the value pick there, right? Like, he is the most talented player available. You can sit there and reach for Drake May, like I think you guys are going to say, or JJ McCarthy, like I think you guys might say. And guess what? He is not as talented at his position as what Marvin Harrison is. Why not take
Who gets him the ball?
Wait, maybe early in the second round, they trade up, Tyler, and guess who they get? Bo Nix. Who can get him the ball?
Maybe to get what's-his-face from the Titans. He's still out there, isn't he?
Tannehill?
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't think they're going to reach.
I thought he signed. Maybe
all
not.
I'm saying
I thought he
is
went to the Browns.
I don't think the Patriots reach for a quarterback that they know isn't their franchise quarterback. And after Caleb Williams, yeah, there's good quarterbacks, but not your franchise quarterbacks available. Sorry.
Okay.
So
Tyler, who you got here?
So here's what I'll say is I'd say 3 to about 8 have been probably the hardest and most changed for me over the last, I'd say, week and a half or so. Just by looking at things, looking at teams, looking at needs, looking at depth charts. I also, Trey, think that Marvin Harrison Jr. is the third pick of the draft.
Yes, thank you.
However, not by the New England Patriots. Because guess who trades up from pick number 15 up to number 3? Welcome Marvin Harrison Jr. to the Indianapolis Colts.
No.
Indianapolis Colts. He has stated that he wants to play there. The Colts can move up to number 3. You already have your quarterback, and I feel like Jim Irsay is a guy that would make this move to go get a Marvin Harrison Jr. Knowing what Marvin Harrison did for the team, dude, you got your next connection there. All right, you got Anthony Richardson, Marvin Harrison Jr. Can you imagine that? Yeah. Like, just think about that, and think about running back. Like, they would be scary.
What do they have though? Like capital wise to give up? The 15th and
probably going to be the 15th, and then a bunch of another first round pick next year.
I guess so.
Probably.
Yeah.
That's what most teams. That's what most teams are going to do.
But to get a guy like that, though,
yeah,
I could see it happening. So I'm going with the blockbuster look here.
Okay.
Marvin Harrison Jr. trade to the Colts, number 3. New England Patriots bump back to number 15. So Trent, go ahead.
So here's the deal. I've got an occurrence at pick number 3 that also involves a trade. And I think this team is going to attempt to follow in a very quick turnaround, in a win now mentality, similar to the Texans last year. And I've got the Bears. I got the Bears trading up. I believe that is from their 9th pick now, up into the 3rd position. And that is where Marvin Harrison Jr. gets selected. You've got probably the most dynamic rookie duo coming out of college in a very long time. And now you are giving Caleb Williams, when you think about it, when you give it to you got Marvin Harrison, you got Keenan Allen, and you got DJ Moore. So Trey, maybe that whole turnover touchdown thing.
Dude, that's why I've been saying it the whole time, Trent.
Yeah, because you knew the Bears. You knew I was going to have the Bears trade up. Okay, but
I knew they're going to have Caleb Williams. That's all you need. You got DJ
Harrison,
Moore.
I got Marvin Harrison Jr. going to the Bears. What a draft for the Bears! Whew, what a draft!
And Trent, I like your comparison to the Texans because that is almost identical to what one pick off.
And they made the playoffs.
Identical. Yeah, and they're getting scarier too. Texans are going to be a dangerous team.
Yeah, because what D'Amico's
put his team together, dude.
Their trade would have been, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, the first round pick that they gave to the Browns this year? I forget who got the trade from it. But
it's not the Browns don't have a first round pick.
But the trade, well, that's because they traded to Minnesota then. But
it's the 23rd pick.
The trade that they made, it ended up being a 23rd overall pick. So think about it. They got defensive end out of Bama, and they got their guy, they got their franchise quarterback with those 2 picks back to back. So that was, in that case, whether you call it a big risk because you're risking a lot on the rookies, but geez,
reward.
That was a big reward.
In their case, it did pay off. It did definitely pay off. So that's interesting, man. And Trent, I'm surprised that you have a wide receiver going there, especially with their locker room already with the wide receiver.
Yeah,
that's why I held
DJ Moore and Keenan Allen. I'm like, whoa, that's
okay. So you put Keenan Allen, you put Keenan Allen and Marvin Harrison on the outside. I mean, geez, now you got DJ Moore to play in the slot. Kidding me? Having too many weapons for a rookie quarterback.
Their defense is already good.
Yeah.
No, and your tight end's Cole Kmet, which is also
that would be a disastrous occurrence as a Packers fan.
Yeah, I know, Trent. Thanks, man. Sorry, I'm playing a really tough division.
Hey,
relax.
Hey, real quick,
or anything.
Isn't their running back too Swift?
Yes, it is.
Yeah,
DeAndre Swift that went there from the Eagles, right?
Yeah, Tyler.
Ooh. All right.
Tell them
about it. So that's why the NFC North is getting 3 teams in the playoffs.
All right, Tyler, 4th pick overall. Let's keep rolling here. We didn't even get out of the top 5 yet. Oh boy,
I know.
Let's keep rolling a little bit.
All right. Pick number 4 here with who we got? The Cardinals. The Cardinals. Like I had originally thought Marvin Harrison was going to go there. Still going to stick with a wide receiver, and I think Malik Neighbors goes there from LSU, wide receiver. Kyler needs somebody.
Okay,
if that's their quarterback. So
yeah, I like that, but I have another trade.
Whoa.
Another trade. I have the Vikings trading up with Arizona, and in return, Let me make sure I have this correct here. Arizona is getting the 11th overall pick. And Arizona is also getting the 23rd overall pick in the first round. So trade out of the 4 slot, drop back here and get some really quality. Now you're getting 2 first-round picks.
3
for the Arizona Cardinals.
Technically, 3 picks for the Cardinals.
No, that's
they drop back to 11. Then they have 23, and then they also have 27.
Oh, I missed that one. You're right. Sorry. Jeez. So draft capital there, first round this year. So I have the Vikings selecting J.J. McCarthy, quarterback, out of Michigan. I think he's the he's the one that's annoying me, McCarthy. With the whole oh my gosh, look at his odds drop, look at his odds go here. He's going number 2 overall. Jim Harbaugh says he's the best quarterback prospect. Harbaugh's not stupid. He just he's doing what he wants to. He wants to get his guys available. He wants to make certain guys available to him. But I got McCarthy. I got McCarthy going to the Vikings at 4th overall with a pretty big draft overhaul there for the Cardinals to get a lot of picks.
Interestingly enough, Trent, that would mean that the Vikings may have bit the bait from Jim Harbaugh to get up ahead of him, just in case Harbaugh was going to get his guy. So, never know, because I have seen some rumblings that Herbert might be on the move too. So
there's
that's something to keep an eye on draft day. It's rumbling.
Trent,
CT ESPN from Antonio Brown.
Oh boy!
Don't cite him.
Don't discredit him because he's been right on some things.
Kalen Clark's shoes.
Hey,
okay.
Just keeping it here.
Keep it moving.
Oh, anyway.
Next. Trey, go ahead.
Yeah, Trent, I'm kind of on board with you, but just slightly different. The Cardinals do trade out of the 4th spot because guess what? Patriots took their guy. They don't feel like reaching. They're going to take the capital. Granted, I think the draft capital is a little different than what you said, Trent. I think they get the 11th pick from the Vikings, but I think the Vikings keep the 23rd pick and maybe give them their next year's first-round pick. That being said, they do not take J.J. McCarthy, but they take a different quarterback, and that is Drake May, in my opinion. So I got Minnesota trading up, switching spots with the 11th pick with the Cardinals, and taking Drake May out of UNC with the 4th pick.
Wait. Trey. Is Drake May? Is he going pro? Usually those Carolina guys like to stay for about 7 or 8 years. But that's basketball. That's basketball.
Dude, he can't let it go, Tyler.
RJ Davis is returning today.
He's just mad at RJ Davis coming back for probably, I think, maybe 7th or 8th year.
Yeah, 6 times a charm for a national title, maybe, or an ACC championship, which he hasn't won yet. All right, anyway, we'll talk about that.
He's coming back.
You guys had them. Yeah.
ACC tournaments more than RJ and Baycott combined. So.
Jeez, okay.
So right, I do find it interesting though that you guys both had the Vikings Cardinals making that trade. Right. Picking a quarterback, but a different quarterback. Very, very interesting, especially if that does happen. Tyler, that'd be pretty wild. Tyler, regardless of who it is,
they made it known though that they're doing it. Like as long as they get a team that will trade with them, they're doing it no matter what. Like it's their head coach.
Yeah, and my thought is with Marvin Harrison going.
Yeah,
that's their guy that they wanted. If they can't get him, then boom. No, we're not going to reach for a guy that we don't want.
If Marvin Harrison is there at 4 for them, they better stay and take him.
Yep, 100%.
So, all right, on to the Chargers.
Yep,
the Los
Trent,
Angeles Chargers. I think this one's a little bit. I mean, I want to say obvious. With the Chargers completely doing an overhaul of getting rid of Keenan Allen, getting rid of Mike Williams, I'm going Malik Neighbors at this case. Wide receiver from LSU, which it's weird. I don't think it's correct, but there's quite the experts out there that would say that he's like a 1A in terms of this top receiver in this draft. Meaning he's not number 2 to Harrison. He's very close to him. So
yeah, and I agree with that, but I think the Chargers are going to take an approach similar to what Harbaugh took in college, which is we're going to dominate games by the offensive and defensive line. And I think they can upgrade on their offensive line, and the perfect way to do that is to take Joe Alt, the tackle out of Notre Dame.
Love the pick.
What's that?
Love it. I love it.
Oh, yeah. And I just, like I said, Harbaugh, I know he can, I feel like he's a type of guy that can get the most out of his position players, no matter how highly regarded or not highly regarded they are. But I think it all comes down to, can you have someone to protect these players? Do you have time for your plays to develop? That type of stuff. And that's why I think Joe Alt, I think he's a perfect fit for the Chargers and the type of team that Harbaugh wants to have.
But believe it or not, the Chargers have a little bit of a rebuild.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
I mean
they signed some guys.
Yeah. I mean they got all the running backs from the Ravens.
Yeah, Gus Edwards and J.K. Dobbins.
Yeah. But I mean, they got some building to do. I mean, I could see Neighbors going. I could see your point trade to Joe Alt if Herbert's sticking around too, for sure. Yeah, protect your guys up front. I mean, it's not a bad analysis, especially with the fact that that's how he did, in college. We're going to win in the trenches kind of thing. I mean, I kind of wish that maybe he would have taken that approach when he was the Niners coach in San Fran. Maybe made some different decisions.
Because made a Super Bowl.
I think he did. Made one. Yep.
Wow.
So anyway, I am kind of going on the more of the skill player, not big skills, but skill player. And I'm actually going 3 wide receivers here in a row. And I think my guy, Rome Odunze, is going to the Chargers.
Wow.
Trent, you called Malik Neighbors 1A. I call Rome Odunze 1. So
1 over Marvin Harrison, Tyler.
Yes.
Oh no.
Man. I would take Rome Odunze on my team over Marvin Harrison Jr. And I've stated this so many different podcasts with you guys that at this point in time you should know that's my guy right there. So I think he goes to the Chargers, and look out if he's with Herbert, man, because Herbert's got a gun and Rome can catch anything in his area.
He loves him so much.
Herbert's got a gun.
He loves him so much.
Dude,
you are a Washington Husky. You're not even a Tennessee fan. You can't claim
no, but not anymore. Like all the guys left that I liked, you know what I mean? Like they're all gone. And like now I look at the team. That's what I mean. Like even their head, and I hate where the head coach went, but like, yeah, I can't anymore. Like I can't follow him like I did. Penix going to the pros now. It's like, man, it's gonna happen.
Yeah, really missed that. You loved the Penix.
You do love Penix.
Yeah,
big Penix energy.
Yeah.
Which I'd like to give credit. That was credit to us first before they ever started talking about it on game day.
Right.
We totally had that out there, and then all of a sudden they're chanting it. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like,
oh man, yeah, that was bad. Yeah. All right, who's up next here?
Pick number 6. That's me. It's the New York Giants. I think they're going to stay there. And similar to you guys, I think this is where a skill player gets picked instead of the Chargers. I'm going to go with Malik Neighbors going to the Giants. I think that they are desperately in need of some offensive production. Now, especially now they got rid of Saquon. And I think he's their guy. I know I could also see them maybe drafting a quarterback here and reaching and trying to threaten Daniel Jones. But I think ultimately they're going to try to support him. And I think taking Malik Neighbors does that. So that's why I chose him.
They do need a lot, man. I'll tell you what, Brian Dabble will probably be.
He's got his work cut out. Oh,
his seat's burning, dude.
Yep.
His seat is burning.
Might be a blessing in disguise, though, for him, though. You know what I mean? Like, get out of there. cut your ties and get a better job because he could.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Trent.
Nope. I think
Tyler. It's actually Tyler.
Yeah. So they do need a lot of help. I don't know if Daniel Jones is the answer there. But if he is, because right now I don't really know if there is another option. I think you got to protect your money, and I'm going with Joe Alt here.
Okay.
The tackle out of Notre Dame. Now, understand that this was the one I had Joe Alt going next in the next round. At one point in time, I had him going earlier. At one point in time, like I said, this 3 through 8, man, I've had these guys kind of like flip flopping all over the place, and when I looked at the Marvin Harrison thing, that's kind of what gave me the go ahead to put Joe Alt with the Giants there. But
Tyler, who am I?
Daniel Jones.
Daniel Jones.
Yeah.
Shit, Trent. I was like, what is wrong with you? Is he okay?
So I'm with you on that, Ty. I believe. I mean, that was Daniel
wait 1 second. This is a shout out to Richard for a pop top. All right, go ahead.
Okay. All right. Well, now I got to give Richard a
I just constantly get interrupted. I swear. You guys never let me speak.
How about you open a drink, Trent? Maybe we won't interrupt you.
Are you relieved?
Tinkle for Richard.
All right.
Hey, go ahead, Trent.
Anyway, I think it was very apparent that Daniel Jones is seeing ghosts. That was present by the look on his face at his press conference. I mean, I feel for the guy because he had a pretty good year that earned him his little contract extension the year they made the playoffs. But I mean, goodness, he couldn't get through his first read last year without having to run for his life or be his back on the turf. So yeah. Draft offensive tackle, best available at this spot. Joe Alt.
They got some guys in free agency though, fellas.
Don't care,
including some Packers.
The stud. Once again, get the stud. Get the young stud that will be there for 12 to 15 years the way that they're playing. So Joe Alt, Notre Dame.
Yep.
Pick 7, Tyler.
Pick 7. Here we go. So we're at the Tennessee Titans. Another team that I do feel like had a very decent offseason. And this was, again, going back to why I had Joe Alt here, because I do think Callahan's going to bring in, if he hasn't already, bring in his dad to be the offensive line coach.
He did. He did.
Is he officially? Okay.
Yeah.
That being said, I do think the Giants take Alt. So I'm going with the Titans next, Javon Curse. Going with Dallas Turner, the edge rusher out of Alabama. They need a defensive stud to kind of, and edge rushers, it's where the money is. And I feel like Callahan's going to try to turn it around a little bit, because I feel like the Titans, they were competitive, obviously with his name's losing his name right now.
Will Levis?
No, with the coach. I can't even think of his name.
Oh, Vrabel.
Completely Vrabel. Competitive, won games, got to the playoffs, but I think that Callahan's going to try to bring a little bit something new there. I don't know. So we'll see. I'm going with Dallas Turner, the edge guy out of Alabama. I do think the Titans have a lot of needs, obviously, but that's where I'm going. So,
so I'm actually going to follow what you were talking about with his dad, who's not a good head coach, as I know from experience with the Raiders, but change your play calls. But he's a good offensive line coach, and I think protect the future. I go back to the Bengals move. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, yeah, getting Jamar Chase paired with Burrow is awesome. But in reality now, you've gone 2 years of Joe Burrow's career on the injured list, because you also might have been 3. Yeah, I think, ACL, wrist injury. Yeah, mm-hmm. So you could have drafted Penei Sewell.
Yeah.
Instead of Jamar Chase. And you know what? I get it. Wow, pairing college teammates together. But I'm sorry. Keep your future quarterbacks healthy. Invest in the trenches. I'm gonna totally butcher this name. Oleomaya Fashanu, Penn State offensive tackle.
Yeah, there's an echo in here because with my second or seventh pick, I'm going with Olumiyiwa Fashanu from Penn State as well. And Trent, I completely agree with you. I think the Titans are going to try to build a team that almost like with the 49ers were a all-star team last year, but I think what they're going to try to do is use their scheme with the players they have to create an offense. But ultimately, I think they're going to beef up their offensive line. They drafted Wisniewski from Northwestern last year with their first pick. I think the center or whatever his name was, Skornowski. Yeah.
Guard/tackle.
Right. Either way, and I think drafting those two guys back to back, they're going to beef up their line, and they're going to let their skill players have time to do what they need to do. And I think that's what the Chiefs do. I think it's the 49ers do. I think it's what a lot of the good teams do is they build their lines. And the Titans are on their way to being good. You guys gave me a lot of crap for saying they are going to be competitive this year, but I think they will be.
Yeah, so you guys are both on the tackle out of Penn State, Fashanu.
Yes. Yep.
Very all right, I got the next Trent. One. 8th pick, I got Dallas Turner going to the Atlanta Falcons at 8. Edge rusher, Rasheem Morris, defensive coach. I think they have an abundance of offensive weapons down there in Atlanta. They got their place-holding quarterback who's won one playoff game and has been paid over $400 million. So
for 4 years, correct?
Yep. Invest. No, I'm just saying 400. He's made 400 over his career.
Right, but I'm saying they signed him to 4 years.
I'm saying invest in an edge rusher that's going to be able to get the quarterback. Gosh. Alabama edge rusher, Dallas Turner.
Trent, back-to-back, same picks. I'm with you, Dallas Turner. You couldn't make a better point than what you said. They have all the offensive weapons. They got their quarterback finally. Get some stops. Dallas Turner can get to the quarterback.
I think he's for 3 years, Tyler. I think.
No, I'm not going to say anything.
Oh. There he is. There he is. I sent the link.
All right.
What do you got, Tyler? What do you got? 8th pick, Atlanta.
All right. Well, I'm not going to make it a trifecta with Dallas Turner just because obviously he's already been picked in my draft. I will say this, though. Again, going back to that 3 to 8, I did have Dallas Turner going to the Falcons a couple days ago. But I'm going to go the Falcons protecting Kirk Cousins, hopefully. And I think that, I feel like you guys may disagree with me with where he's being picked. A little biased with the college, but I'm going to go with Troy Fautanu, the tackle out of Washington. I do believe I'm pretty sure he played guard in college, which I found it interesting that they had him listed as a tackle. If you watch the guy pull in college, the guy is very fast. He's very quick. He's strong. I really do feel like he is going to be one of the best offensive linemen in this draft. So I think the Falcons are going to protect the nest, give Kirk Cousins some time to get the ball out. So that's what I'm going with.
Tyler, that is, me and Trent have had the same exact pick for the last 2 rounds. So I'm going to jump into pick 9 because you are just one ahead of me for the last 3 picks for some reason. You took Neighbors, then you took Turner. And I'm taking Troy. I'm taking Troy Fautanu for the Chicago Bears at pick number 9.
Okay.
I think what you just iterated for the Falcons. I think they're going to protect their money with Caleb Williams and give him a strong, experienced guy that has proven himself to be an elite pass blocker. I think they have the offensive weapons that we've all explained in DJ Moore and Keenan Allen, DeAndre Swift. Cole Kmet is a viable option too. So I think that what they're going to do is kind of protect their moneymaker in Caleb Williams, their first pick. So Troy Fautanu out of Washington with the 9th pick for Chicago for me.
So we are close. I'm not gonna lie, like across the board, guys, we're all pretty close with a lot of
You're literally just one ahead of me. Like every single pick is All right. Let's hear what you got, Tyler.
So my pick number 9, I do have another trade. This trade is now actually, interestingly enough, Trey, coming with the Bears and I don't know why I said interestingly enough now. I'm looking at things. Bears and Buccaneers are going to make a trade. So the Bucs are going to trade up from pick 26. And at pick number 9, the Buccaneers will be selecting the tight end out of Georgia, Brock Bowers.
Whoa, dude, what the F?
So, I do believe it's a move that I think the Bucs are going to have to feel the need to get up there soon enough because Brock Bowers could actually be selected probably in the top 7 or 8. I think number 9 is even pushing it a little bit for him because he is very talented. If there wasn't so much other talent, I think he might be even a top 5. But yeah, I have the Bucs trading up to get Brock Bowers at pick number 9.
I am rounding off a trade that I had earlier. If you guys recall, I had the Bears trade up with the Patriots. So in my position here, the Patriots are drafting at number 9. And I think by surprise, now that it's at pick number 9 and this guy's still available, I think this is where they do select Drake May, quarterback out of North Carolina.
Fair enough. Yeah,
so you will gain, and I'm not saying that's the only draft capital that the Patriots gain from this year. They did exchange picks. I do believe they're going to also get the Bears' first-round pick the following year. Honestly, I was a little tentative to have the Patriots take a quarterback way up there at number 3 because I think they've shown that they're committed to a complete rebuild. And I think initially my thoughts were don't take quarterback. I didn't think the Patriots were with their first pick, whether it be at 3, 9, wherever. Because I think they're going to try to build a team around, build the team first and then get a guy in place, if that makes sense.
Like the 49ers.
Yes, that is very true. That is a good comparison. But I think at 9, unless they're going to get more draft capital for a team that's desperate, for a franchise quarterback, I got them taking Drake May at 9th. I think that's just too good of value to pass up on.
All right. Trent, I know it's your turn to start 10, but can I start 10 just for the sake of a joke?
Nope.
Okay.
No, because I saw your reaction, and at the 10th pick overall, the New York Jets get Aaron Rodgers, a big weapon here. Wow. The tight end Brock Bowers from Georgia.
I mean, I'm just going to say that's exactly my pick. When Tyler said Bowers at 9, I was like, holy shit, that's exactly literally that's 4 in a row now that he's taken one person ahead of me. Go ahead, Trent. I'll let you explain, but yeah, I'm on that too.
No, I did. I just think, Tyler, you're right. He's probably up there with a top 3 receiver overall in this draft. But I think he's as close to George Kittle as you're going to get in a long time. And who knows, maybe the ceiling's even a little bit higher. But it's too valuable there for the Jets to not sit there and take him. Whether or not you only have Rodgers for 1 more year, 2 more years, that's a guy that it's a huge weapon for the next quarterback that's going to have to step in there and play.
I think, Trent, to even kind of compare, in terms of draft stock, where he could even be is, you could put him in the same lines as like Kyle Pitts when he was drafted for the Falcons. In the sense where he can be a wide receiver, let's get more out of him than Kyle Pitts has gotten, but
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, interesting. So you guys are both on Brock Bowers to the Jets at 10.
Yeah. Can I explain why though? My reason as well.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
I could see, I'm not gonna lie, I had a tough time with the Jets not taking an offensive tackle, but then again they did sign a lot of free agents this offseason too, that for their offensive line. But a quarterback as well. It's like you got Aaron Rodgers, how long do you have him for? But I think the Jets are on a win now mentality, and that's why I went with the tight end, that a player that has an impact right away. You could make a statement for preparing for the future and everything. But the Jets can't afford to do that now that they lost the year of Aaron Rodgers. So that's why I have them taking that offensive weapon, and Brock Bowers. I think he can make an impact right away and help them win a Super Bowl. To be honest with you,
I do think the Jets have a lot of weapons. I mean, if Aaron Rodgers would have stayed healthy last year, I think the Jets season would have been complete 180. With some of the talent that they had offensively. Therefore,
what if they had Aaron Rodgers? It wouldn't be a 180 trend.
Okay, they'd be better, but I don't think they would have been what the media was making them out to be.
They would have been a playoff team 100%.
I think they definitely would have been in the playoffs.
Hey, all I know is I got a nice, good, cold beer from Tyler for taking the under on their win.
That's so scummy, dude. It's so scummy. You have a Hall of Fame quarterback busting his Achilles on the fourth play, and you're proud of that, and you're gonna gloat about it. He's gonna gloat about it.
I took it before he got hurt. So
okay, that's my point.
That's the point.
It's called a good bet.
Oh, it's called a lucky. That's called a lucky break for a shitty.
There's a little luck involved. You gotta have them. Sorry, but I think with that division, no way. Not with the Bills, not with the Dolphins. I don't think they're as good as you think.
Dolphins are frauds.
Everyone wants the Jets to be good. That's the thing. Everyone wants the Jets.
They are good. They didn't have a quarterback, Trent.
Okay.
They didn't have a quarterback, which is the most important position on the football field. Besides that, they were an elite team.
Okay.
Next, Tyler.
All right. So my pick for the Jets.
Sorry.
No, that's all right. Just because there has been so much talent taken, I think the Jets start to prepare for the future, as Trey, you kind of alluded to a little bit. And I think that Aaron Rodgers becomes a mentor again to JJ McCarthy, the quarterback out of Michigan.
No way.
I think he becomes a New York Jet. I think he learns from Rodgers for about 2 or 3 years. Rodgers rides off into the vice presidency, and McCarthy takes over the helm for the Jets. So, no comment about Aaron Rodgers VP.
Yeah, that's not happening. I also don't think there's no chance in hell the Jets are picking for the future with their situation right now. It's win now. It's win now for the Jets.
It is win now, but they already have talent.
Yeah, Robert Saleh's out the door after this year.
Not at tight end. They don't have talent at tight end, Tyler.
No, and listen, I agree with you. I like that pick for the Jets. That's why I said I think the Bucs are going to trade up to get them for Baker Mayfield.
It's okay.
Because I think the Jets probably would take him if he's there.
Okay.
So I'm not disagreeing with you. I just think that somebody's going to try to get him ahead of him. So
fair.
Pick 11.
Right, so it's my turn. 11th pick.
Yes.
So with my 11th pick, I have the Cardinals getting it from the Minnesota Vikings. So the Vikings are slated here, but I had them trading up to the 4th pick, switching with the Cardinals. So I have the Cardinals right here. And I think they're getting the same position they wanted to get before, but now they have draft capital, and now they're getting a guy that's just as good, Tyler, in your opinion, and that's Rome Odunze, number 11. What?
Yeah. No, nothing. I can see everybody's things, but Rome Odunze, aka wide receiver.
No way, Trent.
Wide receiver 1. I'm up. I got the Vikings staying put at 11, and I think that the Vikings, if McCarthy is not taken, I think they take McCarthy over this quarterback. However, I think, as I pointed out, McCarthy goes to the Jets. I have the Vikings taking Drake May. I kind of look at Drake May and JJ McCarthy, I won't say one and the same, but a little bit in a sense, and it's kind of like, hey, who's available type of deal.
Yeah,
but
I thought I was controversial with having Drake May drop to 9. So Tyler, you had him drop all the way to 11.
Yeah, behind McCarthy.
Trey, did anybody take him yet in yours again?
Yeah, Drake May went 4th to the Vikings because they traded up with this pick currently.
That's right. Okay.
You had McCarthy go 4th.
Yeah.
In my draft,
Okay.
McCarthy's still available, but go ahead.
Okay. Trey, am identical to you here. I have Cardinals are now able to build around Kyler Murray. They collected draft capital by trading with the Vikings. With their first of their 3 picks in this first round, they are going to be taking Rome Odunze at wide receiver.
Wow, look at that, man. Hey, look, virtual, like, come on, man. That's good stuff. Great minds. They just think alike.
If we could, and I don't know how old we'll be at this point in time, but at some point maybe we take a futures beer bet.
Okay.
And whoever has the better career of Harrison Jr., Rome Odunze, and Malik Neighbors.
Todd, just go stats right now.
Yeah.
Just say who's going to have. What do you want to do? You want to do touchdowns or yards? Whoever has more. I mean, I'm not in on this.
I have an idea. We will divide. It'll be yards per game. Why don't we just do yards per game? Minimum game, 50 games.
I was saying single season.
Oh, he said career.
Let's discuss this at the end. Let's get at least to the halfway point here, guys. We got Denver Broncos. Tyler, I do believe you are up here for the Denver Broncos.
All right, Denver Broncos obviously made a splash in the news this week with Zach Wilson quarterback situation. That again changed some things for me in terms of my
me too.
Mock draft.
Absolutely.
I feel like some people might think I have him a little bit higher than I have him, but I have the Denver Broncos taking Chop Robinson out of Penn State, the edge rusher from Penn State.
Wowee. Okay.
I think he might be a little bit of a difference maker. And I feel like the Broncos, I don't know. I feel like he just kind of gets in that. I don't know. He just seems like a guy that would fit good.
What are you sparking about?
I have him later in the draft, and I thought I had him too early. So it's interesting. So you have him at 12 to the Broncos. That's not bad. I just can't tell you how happy I am that Zach Wilson's in the Raiders division. Like maybe I'll regret that, but heck yeah.
Well, let's also just keep in mind the fact that you also have like
what?
You're with Patrick Mahomes.
I know. So at least
who's your quarterback? Who's your quarterback?
Maybe we can answer that in a little bit, Tyler.
All right. Well, I'm just saying.
I can't be happy that Zach Wilson's in the Raiders division. Like, why are you getting so mad? Like, cut me a break. You gotta play Patrick Mahomes 2 times a year, man.
What I'm saying is, can you guys just compete
right now?
Can you just keep him out of the damn playoffs for God's sake? Like, just keep him out.
Oh, I get it. That's right.
Yikes!
I get it. Never mind.
Not anymore. You know what the year to keep him out of the playoffs was last year, and they fucking won the Super Bowl. So,
jeez.
We were already explicit before. Who's up with
we're all adults. We're all adults here. It's a draft.
It's me. Yeah, things are getting heated in the draft room. I got Denver Broncos. I think there's a couple quarterbacks out there that I don't think fit Sean Payton's mold. And I think this move with Zach Wilson was a straight up shot to see if he can make Zach Wilson productive at all. He's going to sit there and throw it in the Jets' face after what he said this past offseason about Hackett, if you guys recall. You guys remember that little spicy comment he made?
Yeah, I didn't even put that together then.
Yes, I think that was a little bit of, we'll take Zach Wilson. Watch what we'll do with him because you suck as a coach, Nate Hackett, which might be true.
Oh, he was there with him for 1 year. Let's chill out.
Anyway, cornerback Terrion Arnold, Alabama, is going to the Denver Broncos at this point. I think it's needed. I'm really hoping Denver does trade Patrick Surtain because I'm hearing his name's floating out there. Would love to see him go. See you later. Go ahead, replace him with the next up-and-coming Alabama cornerback.
Yep. So
that would make sense.
So, Tyler, I'm on your situation here, but the Zach Wilson signing did change my mind. In fact, it had me change my whole draft, my mock draft, because I had Denver trading up to the second spot and taking Jaden Daniels and using Patrick Surtain as a trade pawn in that, right?
Okay,
but them signing Zach Wilson kind of changed my whole mind. I don't think that they would use that capital to go and get another unproven quarterback that hasn't played any NFL experience up to the second pick after they sign a player like Zach Wilson. So that kind of changed my whole mock draft. And then I thought about it and I said, where are the Denver Broncos struggling? And they don't get any pass rushers. When were they successful? Is when they had Von Miller, right?
Yep.
They need a new Von Miller. And Tyler, I don't think it's Chop Robinson. I think it's Latu from UCLA.
It's another one.
Sorry about that.
Did you just mic drop us, Trey? You just mic dropped us.
Because that's their pick, fellas.
Latu. Boom. Throwing the mic on the ground.
No, I think he's I think he's athletic. I think he has the capability to chase down a quarterback, freaking overpower a tackle, but also adjust to be a run stopper. And I think Chop's a little different in that aspect. I think he's a one track mind kind of guy where it's I'm going to rush the quarterback. I'm going to get to it before anything happens. So
well,
I think
what?
the Broncos
you got a quarterback to go get in that division. So
who does?
Mahomes.
Patrick Mahomes.
Oh, right. Yeah. No, I think Latu is perfect. I think it's perfect for that division.
Latu. Wow, that's a mouthful.
All right, Trent, I think you are up, aren't you?
Wow, look at that. I am up for what team?
Weird how that fell.
That works out well, man. Yeah.
That's weird. I did not recommend that for this reason. Guys, I will just preface with I hate the NFL draft.
Yeah. As a Raiders fan, I understand.
As a Raiders fan, I hate it.
Packers fan too.
I think we at this point are going to look at like the 25th best or the fastest receiver in the draft and take him at 13 just
Darius
because
Hayward.
Yeah, right. So I actually
or who can get arrested quickest.
Let's keep cutting off Trent so he can never talk.
That is true. That is the no. I'm saying the arrested comment because it is also, guys. You're taking 20-some-year-olds, giving them millions of dollars, and putting them in Vegas. Like that was something that maybe the Raiders didn't really foresee happening. So that's why they just let them smoke cigars in the locker room and let them party there, so that way they can watch them at all times.
Tyler,
good move.
That's funny.
Good move by Pierce.
Hey, Tyler, did you know that Darius Hayward Bay had more names than he had catches in his rookie year?
Doesn't surprise me.
Wow.
He had 2 catches, 3 names. Go ahead, Trent.
Thanks for clarifying that.
Yep.
You counting a hyphen as a fourth symbol? Or
well, no, Darius Hayward Bay.
Right. So I'm kind of picking with my heart here, but also I'm picking with the mindset of the longtime owner, rest in peace, Al Davis in mind as well, and hopefully his son has a little bit of sense like him. The Raiders love the deep ball, right? You've got probably one of the best receivers at extending the field. And I believe this guy, it might be a reach, but let's prove everybody wrong. Let's go get our guy. Big Penix energy at this point.
Jeez, man.
Michael Penix, quarterback, Washington.
Get your energy.
Jeez, I do not have a beverage. I am. This is water.
It's big Pendix energy.
I did. I slipped up my words. All right. Raiders. Michael
what's his name on College Game Day?
Bill Walton. Lee Corso. That's messed up.
Lee Corso.
That's messed up.
Wow. He had medical problems.
Too far.
But I'm just saying, you could still sound like him.
Moving on.
Making fun of him. I'm just saying.
Trey, what do you got here?
Trent, I'm just thinking about you guys took the last time you guys took a strong arm left-handed quarterback. What that was? Was that Jamarcus Russell? Was he lefty?
No.
No.
He's right-handed.
Okay, well, maybe I was just mistaken with the same. Yeah.
Terrible.
Reach.
Embarrassing.
But no, ultimately, I don't even have the Raiders taking a pick here because I have them trading with the Commanders, remember, for the second pick.
Yeah.
But that being said, I do have a quarterback still being taken, and that is J.J. McCarthy from Michigan, going to the Commanders at the 13th pick from the Raiders.
Man, if they could get that all the way back there, that'd be a steal.
Exactly. I think the Commanders are going to have a good little draft, all things considered. Because I don't think Daniels wants to play there. I think Daniels and the Raiders and Antonio Pierce have a connection. Commanders get draft capital, and they get a quarterback that I think is viable. But anyway, Tyler.
Big Penix energy.
Really?
Raiders get Michael Penix, yeah. This is one I've been pretty
Energy
sold on for a while. Energy, yep. Nah, that's dude. If you can get Penix to throw the ball to Devontae Adams, whoo, look out. That could be scary.
Adam's gonna be there.
I mean,
Oh my God.
He's not going anywhere. He's also he reiterated that recently too. But
okay.
like, dude, I'm telling you, dude. I think Penix is one of the better quarterbacks in the draft. I think he'll have a better career than some of the guys that are even ahead of him drafted. If he stays healthy, and that's his biggest thing. I mean, he wrote a cool letter to the teams that are looking at him recently, just about like what he's had to go through, and if he hadn't had to go through this, and what he's able to kind of come out and And I just, dude, I've liked this guy since he was at Indiana, and have followed him. I think it was Indiana Penn State game.
Yep, diving touchdown.
Yeah, and I was like, dude, this guy right here,
not controversial at all.
No, but like I'm just telling you, like I've liked him since that game, and just have kind of followed his college career, throughout. And I was, he's a baller, man. So if the Raiders can get him, and he can stay healthy in the NFL, I think you're gonna have a guy that can be very successful, and you do have a future quarterback there, Michael Penix. So you guys know how I feel about him because I've talked about him all through college football season. So
you love the Penix.
Big Penix energy, man.
Yeah.
I did try to get a shirt made from Washington, and it got denied because of copyright issues. But neither here nor there.
Yeah,
whatever.
It's number 14. Shirt. Number 14 with the Saints. Trent, let's hear what you got.
It's actually you.
Trey. You're up.
Oh, it's me. Okay, all right, great. I think the Saints have enough offensive talent in terms of skill position wise. I think their receivers are great. Running backs also viable. They just need to get Derek Carr sometime. So I think they're going to take J.C. Latham, Alabama offensive tackle.
It's a good pick. Protect the roost.
Exactly.
I'm going with an edge rusher here. I think losing some of the guys that they had defensive line wise, I think, and I'm actually going to trade with your guy from UCLA here, Leatu Latu.
Oh,
the edge rusher at UCLA, going to the Saints. I just feel like he's a Saints guy because they just always had some tough guys in that front defensive line guys, and I feel like he kind of fits that mold. So
yeah,
that's what I'm going with.
It's fair.
Okay.
All right, I got similar to Trey in the sense of not going skill, but big skill, offensive tackle. Talis Fuaga, offensive tackle, Oregon State.
Okay, that's a good pick too.
You guys
are both offensive tackles.
Yeah, the thing he's got to be really good at, and the reason he's going so high up, he's very good at recovering fumbles. So when Derek Carr fumbles 4 or 5 times a game, he'll be good. He'll be very valuable.
It's true.
Valuable. Easy trade. Don't lose your headphones there. All right.
So I'm going to go with my pick 15. And looking at it, I did have that trade with the Colts. So Colts traded up to pick 3 to get Marvin Harrison Jr. So the Patriots are now on the clock. I got the Patriots taking a quarterback. Quarterback number 6 in the first round. Bo Nix, quarterback out of Oregon.
Wow.
I know that's a reach.
No, it's not a reach, Ty, because I said I thought the Patriots would take Bo Nix in the late first round. So I do like that. I think
trade back, get some capital, still get a quarterback.
I think you gotta still use your third pick and then get Bo Nix, but I like the pick, Tyler. I do.
Thanks.
All right. I do have the Colts here at this spot, and I have them taking Kenyon Mitchell, cornerback, who I believe is out of Toledo, correct?
Yep, correct.
So I think that's Toledo cornerback getting drafted in the first round. Probably a lot of people wouldn't expect that, but I do have him going to the Colts at this spot. It's a spot that they need.
Interesting.
I like the positional pick. I'm staying with the Colts here at 15. I think they're going to take a guy that had a great combine interview, won the hearts of America. I think Jim Irsay likes those types of guys, like that have the good storyline to them. And I'm gonna have them taking Terrion Arnold, the cornerback out of Alabama.
So Trent, you had him going to Denver earlier at pick 12. So Trey, you got him going at 15. So a little bit later, but yeah, same position. Okay.
Yep.
All right. Last pick here for the halfway point at pick 16.
Yes, this
Trent,
is me.
What you got, dude? Yep.
This is a guy that you guys both had going a little bit earlier here, but this is where I think the Seahawks are going to take Latu, edge rusher, UCLA.
Okay. We got to trade, fellas. The Seahawks are trading out. Sorry.
I love it. I love his noises.
My hand expressions. No, I think the Seahawks trade out of this position with the city that is hosting the draft. They're going to make a splash this year. And the Detroit Lions trade up to the 16th pick. And they take their key position that they need, cornerback, and Kenyon Mitchell from Toledo, Trent.
Ooh.
Yes.
Okay.
I think that they are in desperate need. I think they don't want to wait to their, what pick is it, 29th?
Yeah.
Which is now going to be the Seahawks pick. They don't want to wait. They're going to make a splash they're hosting the draft, man. And they're going to draft a cornerback, which they desperately need, in a exciting one in that aspect too. So
could see that. Yeah, I could see that. I got the same position. Go ahead.
Sorry. No, I was gonna say I think cornerbacks after the first one's drafted start flying off the board. That's why there
are a couple there that you could definitely see. I am actually gonna stick with the same position at cornerback, and I actually have the Seahawks staying at 16, but taking Terrion Arnold from Alabama.
All right. See?
I kind of see. I don't know. I mean, I'm thinking like Richard Sherman stuff. I'm just like, oh man. But
I think the Seahawks are all about the capital.
Yeah. So hey, leading us into the halfway point, I'd like to give us
Johnny Manziel down there.
Richard Pop Top.
What is
that? Out. All right. So yeah.
Jacksonville. Number 17. Am I up?
Yeah. Yeah.
So with the 17th pick, I think the third cornerback in a row gets taken off the board. And that is Nate Wiggins from Clemson for Jacksonville. What do you got, Tyler?
All right. For Jacksonville, again, Trey, I have the same position, different person. I got Cooper DeJean, cornerback out of Iowa, being taken here.
Wow.
I think he kind of fits the Jacksonville mold. But I don't hate Nate Wiggins either. I think he could be the guy there as well. So they'll take a corner. It's just a matter of
It's interesting we have the same position, just different guys.
Yeah.
I thought the Clemson connection with Trevor Lawrence, he can maybe attest to him, talk about how he was coached. That's why I went with the Clemson guy. But anyway, Trent, sorry to interrupt you once again.
I'm going to go Keon Coleman, wide receiver, Florida State.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a little bit of a bold pick there, Trent.
It is. I just think
he's not even like the top 8 wide receivers.
Definitely towards the top there. But I just think the old, it's a local team where their scouts might have been able to build a good relationship, and we're able to see him in person and maybe even be around the locker room, depending on what's allowed. But I think they need a replacement. I'm trying to think. Did they sign somebody free agency, the Jaguars? I know they lost Ridley, right? But I can't think of who they.
Gabriel Davis, maybe.
Yeah, Gabe. But once again, is Gabe the guy? But
it's like signing the other guy they just signed there.
Yeah, so I'm going wide receiver, offensive-minded coach. They need to play much better offensively overall, because I think soon we're on the lines of he gets fired again, the head coach, or people are really going to question even more Trevor Lawrence. What's his career going to look like?
I don't know how he hasn't been fired yet.
They have Gabe Davis, Zay Jones, Christian Kirk are their top 3 wide receivers for Jacksonville.
Okay.
So you're right, Trent. Maybe they take Brian Thomas Jr.
Mm-hmm. All right, moving into pick 18 with the Bengals here. Who's up here?
Who is it?
I think it is Tyler again, because I just closed. So it went Trey, Tyler, and then me.
Okay. Yep. For the Bengals, I got, I'm going to mess this one up. Talise Fuaga, the offensive tackle from Morgan State. I think, again, kind of going back to the fact that we talked about a little bit, you got to protect Burrow. The guy's been hurt how often, so I think they got to get a good offensive tackle there to protect Joe Burrow. So, offensive tackle, Oregon State, Fuaga.
Yeah. The Bengals did invest in Trent Brown, which offensive tackle from Raiders, but then he claimed the Raiders tried to kill him. And then he went back to the Patriots, where I just think his better days are past him. So Tyler, I could totally see offensive tackle getting picked there. Get the young guy in there, push those 2 vets, because the Bengals' 2 tackles are the biggest tackles in the NFL combined together.
There he is.
Fun fact, balloons. All right. Anyway, I'm staying in the trenches, but I'm going to the trenches on the other side of the ball. I'm going Byron Murphy, defensive tackle out of Texas, for the Cincinnati Bengals. Jeez.
Bagels.
Slap some cream cheese on them, boys.
Some locks.
I got Byron locks of all things. What?
Salmon and cream cheese is delicious.
Locks and capers. Ew, no, it's not.
Not capers.
Byron Murphy, defensive tackle, Texas. Like I said, own the trenches up front. Defensive coordinator there is a guy that is a hot name for head coach. So, dominate that side of the ball and let Joe Burrow come back healthy, and maybe let the defense win some games for you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's wild, Trent. I have the same exact pick.
Wow, at this point in the draft? Wow.
Yep. Texas defensive tackle. Bengals need a defensive stopper in general. And he's the guy. Best available guy. In fact, I think getting him at 18 is a steal and a half. He's a stud he's going to be a run stopper. So I like the pick.
Do you think what you're going to see too, just to kind of talk about some of the interior defensive linemen, because I know edge guys are always paid a lot of money, but I think you're starting to see some of these defensive tackles come out that can disrupt games, and you're going to start to see them start to get some money as well.
Yes, but Tyler, these guys, a lot of teams are now drafting them in the 3rd and 4th round. That's what's like.
Yeah.
You can get a run stopper that is so undervalued in the 4th round or 5th round. That's like,
but I don't think they're just run stoppers though. D tackles are not just run stoppers.
I'm not saying run stoppers. I'm just saying like very.
Yeah.
very versatile players that are D tackles nowadays. And
Right.
I think Byron Murphy's a freaking nature. And
You
it's
look
how big he is and how fast he is, his reactions, and that's what the Bengals need.
Tyler, I think you're probably referring to Chris Jones as like the hallmark guy, right? Who
Oh,
the
and even
defensive
Aaron
tackle
Donald. Even Aaron Donald.
Yeah.
He's done. He retired.
Yeah.
Well,
That's why
right,
here we go. Los Angeles Rams for me are on the clock. I don't know if anybody should trade out. Got to find that next hidden gem here, and I think the Los Angeles Rams are going to take the best available defensive lineman. And at this point, for me, might not agree, but with who I've had already taken off the board, I'm going Jared Burse, edge rusher, Florida State.
Trey, who you got?
Got the same fucking thing. That's insane, Trey.
That is weird. And I swear, Trey, I have not looked once at yours.
Yeah, I think we got like 6 or 7 now. Like
you guys have a lot.
Dude, you really had Verse at the Rams, huh?
100%.
Wow. Well, yeah, I got him too. So Tyler.
All right. So sticking with Trent, like you pointed out, you got to replace Aaron Donald. I got Byron Murphy going to the Rams.
Oh,
here, so.
Okay. Yeah, that's not a bad pick either, Tyler. That's also very good.
And I mean, again, we were close. You know, I
who
feel
did
like
you have?
I'm always like,
who did you have the Rams taking, Tyler?
No, the Rams are taking Byron Murphy. I had the Bengals taking Fuaga, the tackle out of.
Do you already have Bo Nix going though?
Yep.
Okay, because I could see Bo Nix going to the Rams.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, remember I had Bo Nix going to the Patriots.
Yeah, but I think the Rams are okay with Stafford and their situation.
Yeah.
But anyway,
at least for now.
So I got the Steelers.
Yep, next 20. One Steelers. Yep.
So I think this guy already went for you guys. I think they're going to take a tackle, Talise Fuaga from Oregon State.
Okay.
I think they got their offensive persona necessarily. I think they finally figured it out. They obviously got their 2 quarterbacks. Defense is set.
2.
Why not beef up their lines? And
if you have 2, you have 0.
Oh, look at that.
Just saying, if you have two franchise guys, that means you got 0.
I don't think either of them are franchise guys. I think Russell Wilson's a filler, and I think you're letting him learn the play action.
Gotcha.
I'm sorry. I think you're letting Justin Fields learn the play action from Russell Wilson in that year, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Right, Tyler?
Yep.
Anyone?
You're keeping him safe. You're keeping him safe, though. Tyler?
Yeah, I'm also in the same position. Offensive tackle. I got Fashanu out of Penn State going to pick 20. So I know you guys had him going a little bit earlier. But
that late, huh?
I know, and that's why I'm like looking at some guys I got him going to the Steelers.
Very late. That is a huge
Pennsylvania guy.
Can I ask a question, Tyler?
Yeah.
What numbered tackle is that for you going in the first round? Is that like 3rd or 4th?
2. He's a 4th. That's a 4th.
Okay.
I had Fuaga, I had Joe Alt, and I have Fotanu.
Interesting.
From Washington going. And I have him going. So it really does kind of come down to who fits, who had good interviews.
Schemes.
Yeah.
Schemes and everything. Are they a better pass blocker? Can they do zone running? Like,
right. So Trent,
completely agree.
Your Steeler pick for number 20?
Yep. So this is a guy that both of you had, I think, going a little bit earlier. Actually, maybe a lot bit earlier. Troy Fatanu out of Washington. Guard, I have listed. Interior lineman for them would be important. Once again, get a big body up front to keep their 2 quarterbacks safe, but also open up some holes for Najee Harris, man. Like him and Warren,
he lost weight.
Yeah, I mean, I just think that those two backs
Ty Warren's a stud.
Are very talented. get a guy up in front of him that is part of the award-winning best offensive line at college football last year. And I think that's a great solid safe pick at pick 20 to get that Troy Fautanu out of Washington.
Well, that's why I had him at 9, man. He's good.
Yeah.
All right, I think I start off here. Pick 21 with the Dolphins. Again, I kind of had the advantage of seeing you guys' picks to kind of, just see them ahead of time, but didn't impact my picks in any way. But it is interesting to see some of the guys I had that you guys didn't have and vice versa. So that being said, this is a guy that probably could be deemed maybe a second or third rounder. But I have the Dolphins taking Chris Jenkins, the defensive tackle out of Michigan.
Okay.
So I know they had to trade a lot of guys. And I also just kind of look at the way that Michigan's defense always was. And I feel like, where he's ranks and where he could actually play, I feel like he could actually be a stud. So I got Chris Jenkins, DT out of Michigan. So that's where I'm at. Trent?
Yeah, I am at this spot with the Dolphins. I'm going interior offensive lineman here, center/guard. I'm going Graham Barton out of Duke to once again. I think with their run game down there in Miami, but also with keeping Tua upright rather than just relying on his jiu-jitsu skills. Take a really, really smart offensive lineman, physical offensive lineman.
I was just gonna say he's got to be smart too. He's a Duke guy.
Yep.
Yeah, maybe a little nervous there because Trent and I also have an interior offensive lineman in the same exact position, but I'm taking Jackson Powers Johnson out of Oregon because I think he fits their scheme. I think he fits their scheme a little bit better. More of a quicker, let me go out and get you type of guy, and I think that's what the Dolphins is their quick off the ball offense, especially with the running backs. But yeah,
I like it.
All right, moving right along to pick 22. Trent, you starting us up, bud?
Yeah, so this was, I thought, was going to be my surprise pick. And because I don't know, I just thought he was still a little early, but this is where I got Chop Robinson, edge rusher. They got to replace
Son Reddick.
Son Reddick. So why not get an edge guy? Trey, you even said he might even be a little bit more of a specialist where, hey, Pinier's back at the quarterback.
Yep.
If they can use him in that manner, maybe he's not all 3-4 downs. That D line is already filled, but they did have one retire. The big guy, 91 for them. I don't know why his name is
Cox.
Yeah, Fletcher Cox. He retired. You
should have remembered that name, Trent.
Yeah, you love him.
Stop it there, Penix boy. So I'm going Chop Robinson, edge rusher.
Yeah, at 22, I'm saying the Eagles there. I don't think they trade or anything like that, but I think they're taking the guy that I want, the Packers want, and it's going to drive me nuts because I'm not a big fan of the Eagles, and I think the Eagles take Cooper DeJean, quarterback out of Iowa.
Okay. I'm staying interior. I mean, you got to replace your guy. You got to replace Kelsey. So I got Graham Barton going here.
Okay.
I'm actually playing possible center. So, see.
That's tough. I think they have a replacement ready there. I do. I don't know.
Who?
Might be oh man, Alabama kid that was just talking about buying the riding mower with his new contract extension. He did play center at Bama.
Oh, big guy. Yeah.
Cam Jurgens.
Jurgens is the guy they drafted a couple years back that everyone thought he was gonna take over.
Jason Poe.
Nope.
Lacita Smith.
Nope.
Those are the guys I have listed at their center depth chart right now.
Yeah,
maybe
so
it
he's
would
their
tackle. Might be a tackle or guard, Tyler, as well.
Jurgens would be their guy. He's playing left or right guard right now. That's the guy that I think will go in there.
Yeah, that's the guy they have listed at center.
Okay. Anyway,
all right.
Yeah, so where are we at?
So who's up?
We're 23rd.
I'm
Vikings.
up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Vikings. I think they kept this pick, even though they traded up to the 4th pick from the Cardinals. I don't think they gave it up to him. I think they gave him up next year's pick, so that's why I have them still staying at their 23rd spot. And I think they take cornerback Kool-Aid McKinstry from Alabama. I think it's a position they absolutely need, especially in that conference they play in or division they play in. I think they're trying to steal him from the Packers because I know he made a couple visits there and posted a bunch of pictures at Lambeau Field, and I think the Vikings might pull a fast one on him.
It's not a bad pick. This is where first I'd like to comment on your Kool-Aid McKinstry pick. That is a guy that I did not have going in the first round.
You had other corners going instead of him.
I have other corners going instead of him. I have him dropping out of the first round, and I think his foot injury is going to be an issue for him.
Okay.
More than people are actually taking into account. And it was tough because he is a guy that's very talented, very good player, very, great player. But I think that some teams are going to look at that foot issue where it's located, the break and all that stuff. And I think they're going to actually look at that and be like, not sure.
So you think he falls because of that?
I think he falls to early second round.
Okay.
And somebody probably ends up with a steal. Or I think he maybe drops to the very end of the first round somehow. Maybe, I don't know, maybe the Chiefs trade out and somebody trades into, and gets him like 32nd. I mean, I kind of look. Do you remember like when San Fran jumped up to grab Reuben Foster from Alabama when he was in all that trouble, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna take him anyway." Oh, you're still gonna get in trouble. Oh, but I could see something like that happening where he's a guy that's hurt, but I could see a team kind of jumping in, kind of like, "Hey, let's go get him." Man. Like, so I could see it happen. But I will say that from my draft standpoint, he's a guy I did not have taken in the first round. And that was actually something I did want to bring up to you guys just because I thought it was interesting because he is one of the top, I believe, 25.
Fair enough.
Overall.
Packers love him. I know the Packers love him.
So
they might be the team to take him.
Maybe. I have the Vikings staying also at 23. I have, and again, this guy could probably go earlier. I got Jared Verse going, the edge rusher out of Florida State here. So probably going to go earlier than that, but if he's there at that, I think the Vikings could take him. Trip?
At this pick, remember, I had the Cardinals gaining this pick with their big trade with Minnesota. So I have the Cardinals. They've already taken Romadunze, like I said, investing and building around Kyler Murray. So I now have them taking a tackle to protect him, J.C. Latham out of Alabama.
Mm-hmm. It's a good pick.
Okay. I had him going for pretty early.
Yeah, you did, Trey. You had him going earlier already.
Yeah, 14 to the Saints.
Yep. All right, pick 24. We got the Dallas Cowboys here. I'm on the. I don't know. I'm starting, correct?
Yeah.
So I'm kind of in the seat of protect Dak or trade him, and I think they're going to protect him. So I'm thinking they're going to take an offensive tackle here out of Oklahoma, Tyler Guyton.
Interesting.
Trep?
I am also on board with protecting Dak. And I think you got to replace that big left tackle that they lost to free agency. And I'm taking another big left tackle out of Georgia, Amarius Mims.
I like that.
Interesting. Yeah,
it's a good pick. Trey?
I'm also going with the approach of protecting Dak, but I'm going with an interior offensive lineman. That is Graham Barton, the center from Duke.
Okay. Interesting. It is kind of cool to see where their guys fall that we
know.
All right. Pick 25 here. Trent, you're starting us up, dude, with the Green Bay Packers.
Oh, so they're trading Jordan Love. No, I'm just kidding. I'm going help on the interior. I know that's probably not what our
Offense
Packers
or defense.
Well, I'm getting there. I know it's not what our Packers fan brother would like to hear, but they are taking defensive tackle Jerzon Newton out of Illinois.
Oh, okay. Wouldn't be upset with it. We got some decent help on the interior defensive line, but I think we're going the opposite side of the ball, but also interior, not interior, but offensive line. I think we're going to take offensive tackle Tyler Guyton out of Oklahoma. I think that he fits.
Trey, you and me are one pick off again.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, remember I had
who
him
do
in
you,
Dallas.
Who do you got? Let's hear who you got.
For the Packers?
Yeah.
I got J.C. Latham out of Alabama.
All right. Yeah, not a bad. Yeah, I like that too.
So
I think we're going to take
position.
an offensive lineman. The reason I think if Cooper's there, Cooper DeJean, or however you say it, I think we take him. I don't think he's going to be there. I think the Eagles or the Steelers take him.
Could see that happening. Although I will say, somebody hasn't taken him yet, but I actually like where this person has him too. All right. The Buccaneers. Trey, you're up with the Bucs, man.
Yeah, I have them staying at 26. I have them taking my guy, Chop Robinson, out of Penn State.
All right. This was my trade with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So I actually have the Bears picking here. I'm going back to the protect Caleb Williams aspect of things, and I got them taking Trent, the guy you picked a couple picks ago with the Dallas Cowboys. I got Amarius Mims going to the Bears, offensive tackle out of Georgia. So, the big dude, man.
Very inexperienced, though.
Oh, yeah.
But could be an NFL prototype. But does he live up to it? Kind of like Andre Dillard.
Yeah. Trent, who you got the Bucs taking?
I think they're going to finally find the guy to replace Jansen, the center, who Tom Brady's last and final year got injured early in camp.
Yep.
And they haven't really been able to replace him yet. So this is where I have Jackson Powers Johnson. Yes, he has a cheeseburger named after him because why wouldn't an offensive lineman? But center, Oregon at this spot.
It's awesome.
Like it.
I want a cheeseburger named after me.
Yeah, me too.
All right. Moving into pick 27 here.
What would they call it?
Me?
Ooh, what would you call your cheeseburger? Yeah.
What would they call it if they named it after you?
Probably just the Baker Burger.
That's pretty anticlimactic there, Tom.
Yeah. Whoa. Yeah.
You guys have thought about this? You have a sandwich name for yourself already?
Yes, I do.
Go ahead.
What do you got, Trent?
I would call it the
Oh, go ahead.
An excellent cheeseburger because I like eggs on my burgers.
That's really stupid.
That is dumber than mine, dude.
Okay.
I was expecting something good.
I didn't think about it. I'm sorry.
Okay? Yeah, mine would be
right. Well,
mine would criticize yours.
I would be the Trachinator.
That at least makes sense.
3 pieces of bacon. Maybe put an egg on there. I don't have to call it the excellent burger.
Sure.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
That's the best. That's the best one. You win.
Yes, you win. You win.
We owe you a beer for best cheeseburger name.
Okay.
All right.
Try it down.
Nope. Take it off my tab that you owe me.
only after you pay up. I have yours, by the way, Trey. All right, pick 27 here. I believe I'm up for this one. I have the Cardinals taking Jackson Powers Johnson, the center out of Oregon. Trent?
Cardinals here. I got them taking now cornerback Nate Wiggins, Clemson.
Okay.
Also got the Cardinals here. I have them taking defensive tackle Jerzon Newton from Illinois.
Okay. All right, moving into pick 28. Trent, you're up first.
So I feel the Bills are, maybe you guys would agree, Bills are in rebuild mode, right?
Yeah, totally.
Seems that way.
A very big gap now. I mean, where I see them at is I see them a very big gap at cornerback, especially with a defensive-minded head coach who, I'm gonna hold my my comments about how he fires up his team, but I'm gonna have him selecting Kool-Aid McKinstry at this point, late first round cornerback, Alabama.
Yeah, I have them. I have them having to make up for their two big departures this offseason, which is Gabriel Davis and what's this big guy? Stephon Diggs. So I have them taking Brian Thomas Jr. out of LSU, which I think is a steal at 28, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I think he could be a prime number one.
Similar position, Trey. I got them taking Lad McConkey out of wide receiver out of Georgia.
Okay.
So
interesting.
So I remember I told you I had a lot of Georgia guys. So
Lad McConkey. I feel like he's just like a British guy.
Don't sleep on him.
No, he sounds great. Next Wes Welker.
More Irish.
Lad McConkey.
Yeah, he's legit.
You said British.
What do I sound like, Tyler?
Irish.
Lad McConkey.
Every accent Trey's gonna do.
It still sounds Irish.
Yeah, I'm okay with Irish. I know he's just European.
Then don't call him British.
All right, let's go next one.
All right, pick 29. Pick 29. Trey, you're starting.
Detroit Lions, but Trey, they traded, correct?
Yep. So I have Seattle Seahawks here for my pick. I have them taking offensive tackle Amarius Mims from Georgia.
Be big
in a trade.
All right. I have the Lions taking a cornerback here, also out of Georgia, Kamari Lassiter.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So I have the Lions taken.
Wow. Interesting.
Trent, yours is my favorite one.
Yeah, I actually, Trey, you talked about taking a guy that fits their style, their persona there. And I think after this past year, these are the, these are the Hawkeyes of Detroit, right? And I've got them taking cornerback Cooper DeJean.
Dude, when I saw you put that there, dude, that was awesome. I think fits the mold. It fits the mold.
Inside linebackers, Iowa, tight ends, Iowa.
He doesn't get there.
You think he's gone earlier?
Yeah,
he might. Maybe they trade up to get him.
Coming off
if they're going to trade
off an injury, coming off an injury.
Mitchell. Yeah, but
maybe
if he's there for the Packers are taking him 100%.
No, they won't.
Brian Goody already probably said too much and said
So watch for the Lions that trade in front if that's their man.
Exactly. I hope they do.
Oh,
with Dallas,
kill your future.
Who? I'm not mine, but anyway. All right, let's go to the next one. The Baltimore Ravens.
Who's up first?
You, Tyler.
Yeah, me. Oh, all right. So, man, I'm not gonna lie. Ravens was a tough pick for me. Just I was trying to think like the Ravens do, and kind of I don't know, put things in perspective. But they got to replace Patrick Queen. So I have them taking Javon Ballard. There's 3 Georgia guys in a row. I just realized.
See a mall cop.
He's also a safety.
Yeah, safety. I know. But I'm just thinking like secondary guys being able to fill holes, fill the run. Javon Ballard, safety out of Georgia.
Ooh, they got some pretty good safeties there.
See, what I think is that they need an offensive line.
Well, Trent's
and
up.
a player that fits their scheme, who is a zone read. He's a zone read guy, and that's
he's gonna go with it.
He's gonna skip me.
I am, and it's Christian Haynes from UConn.
That's all right.
That's who I'm going with.
A UConn football player.
Yep.
Yeesh.
Christian Haynes. He's great. Guard.
Yeah.
He's a guard.
Jordan Morgan, offensive tackle, Arizona. Is where the Ravens go. Continue to protect your franchise. Put a big body or get another big body for up there in front of Derrick Henry.
Yep, exactly.
I have trouble like thinking that they would actually go intelligent pick though like that. Like I always feel like they go for like the wow. Like look at this guy.
Like a UConn football player. That's a good point.
Okay, Trent. I can't wait till they take Christian Haynes. I can't wait till they take Christian Haynes and you.
So I'm going to skip Trey to go first here. So the San Francisco 49ers, although I think will be a little active because they might get to pick earlier, maybe even at 20 when they trade Ayuk to the Steelers, which I hate to say that. But I am going to have them get some insurance in case Ayuk moves on day 2. And I've got the Niners taking Brian Thomas Jr. out of LSU, which I think is a steal if they can get him this late.
If they do that, Ayuk is gone.
Yeah.
I think that they need to beef up in their secondary as evidence in their Super Bowl performance. I'm taking them with Ennis Rakestraw Jr. out of Missouri, cornerback.
At least you can say Super Bowl performance. So I'm gonna. So I don't think they trade Ayuk. I think it's all smoke and mirrors. If somehow that does happen, I actually think that they end up taking Xavier Legette out of South Carolina. If Ayuk gets traded, if he gets traded, he's not getting traded. Just understand
I have a question.
That. So.
Was what's this guy? Wide running back or whatever, wide receiver back.
Debo.
He's from South Carolina.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that makes sense then.
Yeah.
Got a good history.
That being said, I do not think he's going anywhere. I think San Fran surprises some people, and I actually think that with their first draft pick, I actually think they get a defensive tackle, and I think Jerzon Newton out of Illinois is who they get. And I think people will be like, well, you need a corner, you need an offensive lineman. What are you doing? I just think that the way that they build the team is from the defensive line out. And that's just who they are. I actually almost just for shits and giggles, I almost had them taking the defensive tackle out of Oregon just because we've taken like D tackles out of Oregon like 3 or 4 years. And I was like, nah, I'm not going to do that. So, but yeah, Jerzon Newton out of Illinois is who I got him taken. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. All right. Last pick. Here we go.
Fellas. So I have the Kansas City Chiefs, number 32. I'm staying there. I think that they're going to buy some insurance with a fast, tall, very capable runner or wide receiver. And that's
is that a car joke? Buy some insurance.
Wow.
Allegedly.
Yeah. Well, no,
not allegedly. Actually, he literally did race.
Yeah.
And wreck.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
It's on video.
Okay. Well, we can't. We're not the judge and the jury. Anyway.
Allegedly.
I'm going to go with the same position though, and that's Adonai Mitchell from Texas.
Oh my gosh! Make it 2 of us, Trey. I'm just going to judge.
Hey, what do we got? Like 10 of the same picks?
Yeah,
exact same picks.
My thought there is he's high risk, which Andy Reid loves, right? And with high risk can come high reward. So, I think he would benefit tremendously Mitchell by going there. Obviously, you're going to the Super Bowl championship
because they can rein him in. They can get his mental thing focused in, and tell you what, talent wise, he's there. Man, that's scary.
Yeah, and Rice can mentor him.
Not what I'm saying, but
and Andy Reid's son.
Wow. Okay. Thank God we're at the end of the episode.
Nobody's gonna hear that one.
Oh man.
We'll see.
Oh boy.
That is good. That was good though. That was real good.
Thanks. I'd like to give my last pick. I got the Chiefs also taking wide receiver. I got them taking Xavier Legette out of South Carolina. So
okay.
Tell them round it out.
Woo.
Yeah. Wow.
All
right.
I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted from this.
That was a good one.
Like a lot of research. Very tough for me. As soon as I got to about, not gonna lie, 17 on in the first round, that was probably the hardest for me, because I feel like it's kind of like you said, like some teams just come out of nowhere with somewhere where you're like, whoa, what? Like, like.
Well, and did you feel yourself jumping around at times too?
Yeah, I would have to go back up and delete and copy, paste, and move, and yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
That's. I got to the point where I'm like, oh, I'm making these picks. I know who I want them to pick, or who I think they're going to pick, and then I'm like, oh, but
I would say where I think I'm going to be most incorrect is I have quite a few trades early, and I think the trades are going to come later. I think a lot of teams that might see one of those quarterbacks, I think I said this earlier, sitting there. Maybe it's a receiver that they feel is, a top guy. I think you're going to see some teams that picked early trade back in and go. So that's where I think if I had to evaluate where I could be incorrect, that's where I'm going to say that I think I might have got that wrong. More trades at the end than early.
So real quick here to just kind of finish things out. I do have some just quick fun fact stuff, and then we'll finish up. It'll be real quick. So there have been some teams that have never had the first pick overall. How many teams do you guys think have never had the first pick overall? Out of 32, how many? Trent, give me a number.
7.
Trey, give me a number.
4.
Answer's 3. The Ravens, the Seahawks, and the Broncos have never had a first overall pick. Team that has had the most number 1 picks overall, Colts and the Rams have both had 7 times.
Wow.
Next behind them is the Cardinals, Browns, and Bucks with 5.
Not the Raiders.
In terms of, and this will kind of lead us into our last poll question here, but most frequently selected position number 1 overall, you had the quarterback at 35 times, running back 23, D-line 16, O-line 6, wide receivers / tight end 5, linebackers 5, D-backs 5. The last time, this is going to lead me into our poll question here that we'll finish up with. The last time that a running back was taken first overall, you ready? 1995 by the Cincinnati Bengals, Kajana Carter from Penn State.
Running back?
He ruined it.
What?
I said he ruined it for running backs.
Okay, so this let me so this kind of goes back. There were no running backs taken. There was no running backs taken in 2013 and 2014 in the first round. All right. And as of right now, based off of our mock drafts, we don't have any running backs being taken. All right. Obviously, there's a lot of controversy with that position. So my question to you guys, and this is how we'll finish out, is with the poll question. How many running backs are taken in the NFL draft? I have my number set.
Total?
My number set, total. The number is set at 18.5.
Running backs taken in the draft?
Total. Last year, there was 18 taken.
Under, 100%.
Okay. The year before, there was 24.
I too am going under, primarily with the fact that, like last year you had Bijan Robinson go in like the top 5.
Okay, so it's how you said 18.5.
Yeah, 18.5.
Guess who the 19th best running back is in the draft?
Who is it?
Frank Gore Jr.
All right. So therefore, if you guys are both going under, because of that right there, I'm going over.
All right, beer bet it.
Yeah,
Not beer
I'll
bet.
do it.
No.
All right, no. But in all seriousness, I would like to. Whoever gets the most exact picks right.
Just so you know, I also made that line up too, just based on for research. 18.5. So that's interesting that Frank Gore Jr. is the
And you're not
19th.
even going to take a beer bet on it? You made the line?
No, I'm making the line. I don't care.
So Tyler, all right, Tyler and Trent, I don't know if you guys are interested or not. Doesn't have to be necessarily the exact spot they draft him at, but if a team drafts a player that you picked.
I say exact spot, first round.
Okay, well, we can do that too.
If the team in the first round takes the guy that you picked for them.
At the exact spot?
No, in the first round.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
Okay,
if the
not
team
outside
takes
of the first round.
Yeah, it doesn't matter where it's at, what position. If the team takes the guy that you pick,
okay.
Whoever gets the most correct out of that. You guys want to do a beer bet?
How you want to do it?
We each owe the guy a beer, whoever gets the most correct. And
A
if
beer?
And if two people tie, you owe two beers, one to each person.
How about this? We take it a step further. However many that person gets correct is how many beers each of them buys. So
Okay,
Trey, if you get five, you get five correct, me and Trent each owe you 5. Yeah,
I like that. I
don't. I would rather just do whoever wins gets beer.
A beer, Trent, like that.
Do you know how hard it's going to be, dude? Like to get the exact pick. We might be lucky to get 2
or 3.
It's gonna be too weird because if Trey gets 3, I get 4. Well, we can debate that.
I give you 4 beers and Tyler gives you 4 beers.
Yeah. Well, we can see.
Tyler, I'm on board.
I'm not on board. I don't really understand it, but it's a heck of a draft.
Great draft, guys. Good episode. Appreciate you guys. Enjoy the draft on Thursday. Make sure everybody tunes in and listens. Give us a shout. We'll break some time down just so that way you can kind of see where rounds are at with everything. But with the draft picks or with everything. But appreciate everybody listening. Enjoy the draft. Enjoy your weekend. See you next week.
Take it easy, fellas. Loved it.